All right, so this is my demo video for the first of the high intensity interval strength workouts to do at home. It does not have a name yet. This one is, it's going to be an AMRAP, which is an acronym that stands for as many rounds as possible. So essentially in 10 minutes, you see how many times you can revolve through these different movements. You want to go as quickly as possible, but you want to be A, safe, and B, not lose form. Safety is tied to form, but it's also tied to like actually achieving the point of the movement. So this one is actually kind of modeled after a CrossFit workout called Cindy. So it has air squats in it, it has push-ups, it has pull-ups. You might not have something in your house to do pull-ups with, you might not be able to do a pull-up or a push-up. That's okay, there's ways to move around this. So what it's going to start with is 15, and you'll see in the comment section too, I'll say what it is. It's going to start with 15 air squats. An air squat it's just a squat without weight. So the key here with an air squat is I want to keep my knees tracking over my toes are turned out slightly, my feet are about shoulder width here, and then I'm going to simply squat down and come back up, okay? So this, you think that you're going down the squat, but you actually just brought your chest down. So the idea is that weight shifts back in your heels, butt kind of goes back, knees track. I'm kind of pushing my knees out as I come down. I keep my arms up for balance, and then I come up all the way up to standing, right? So this is actually you're not actually doing the full range. You want to come all the way up. So that's 1, 2, right, 15. The next part of it is going to be push-ups. So if you have complete push-ups, you're going to do complete push-ups. I think you should be able to see me. With push-ups, I don't want your hands in like this. I don't want your arms really wide. I prefer to do push-ups from the kind of this position where my elbows are tracking alongside my body. Makes my shoulders feel safer, but it's a little bit more tricep. To do an actual complete push-up, which a lot of people don't seem to understand, you actually have to come all the way down, touch your chest down, or this area right here, and come back up. If that's not something that you have, that's okay. People often suggest knee push-ups, but what I suggest would be a better use of like kind of keeping that core piece intact is simply finding a different surface. It could be like a wall, it could be your kitchen counter, and you're just going to keep a nice firm core, and you can just come down, touch your forehead, come back, or if you have a counter, you can do it there. Just pick something of a different height and do a push-up from there. Whatever you can do 10 with. Then following that push-up, I've been kind of experimenting with adding like a flow into my workouts, just because why not do like a little bit of like mobility work in between. So after you do this 10 push-ups, you come up from your last push-up, and you're going to come back into down dog, come forward, you're going to step forward with your left or whatever foot, and then turn and twist, come down, down dog, step with the other foot, nice high lunge, and twist, and come back up. Next part is going to be, after you do that flow, you're going to do 5 pull-ups. So I have a little pull-up thing here, and I can actually do pull-ups. It's something I have worked at for a long time. If you can't do pull-ups, really what I'm trying to do is like, a push-up is we're working this part, right? We're pushing away, so it's a lot of emphasis on the front of the shoulder. I just want to do something to counteract that. So there's lots of ways you could do it. Like maybe you have a band that you can have in front of you and pull out, right? Sometimes people have those bands you use in physical therapy. I was looking around to see what I have, and I have this pot right here, which seems silly, but it actually has the bottom of a blender in it. And if I wanted to work my scapula, or my shoulder blades, I would probably bend over at an angle, and I can come up here, and just with that, it's just a little bit of weight, but then I just really squeeze my shoulder blades together. So it's not so much the weight, but the weight's giving me a little feedback, and once I get it to here, I'm just gonna go and squeeze as hard as I can, right? There's plenty of people who do pull-ups who don't use their back at all, who are mostly just using their arms. They never do that piece where they get to the top and squeeze their shoulder blade, right? So anything, you can have cans, you could have 2 water jugs, like anything to just give a little bit of feedback and kind of balance that push-up that we're doing. And then the final thing is 50 singles. So if you have space in your house, you can have a jump rope. I don't have a jump rope, so I literally, like, I don't know, I'm home alone, no one can see me. I would literally just jump 50 times. which sounds maybe stupid, but if you think about it, it's really good for your lymphatic system, and it kind of clears everything out a little bit, gets you moving, get a little bit of, footwork from jumping, and that's what you do. And then you would just do as many rounds of those things as you could in a 10-minute period. If you wanted to challenge yourself more, you could add a weight to the pull-up. You could expand it to 15 minutes if you wanted. These are all options for this workout, which is yet to be named. So looking for names.